Welcome to episode 8 of Pull No Punches. We are talking about love languages, particularly the 5 love languages in marriage. I am Josh.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is an interesting topic. It's one that we actually discovered probably 6 or 7 years back, in really tailoring how we can speak to each other and affectionately nurture each other through the 5 love languages. And it was a book we actually read. It's called The 5 Love Languages, surprisingly, by Gary Chapman. And if you haven't read that, I highly encourage you to go read that book. But we're going to break down the love languages, what they mean to us, and how we interpret them. One, interpret them as our love language, but then 2, really show how we portray love to the other.
And cater to each other's love languages, because most of the times they're not the same with husband and wife. And I will say, just side note, when I first learned about this and heard about it, I thought I was dumb. I did. I thought it was dumb. And it just these 5 love, I'm like, who came up with this? What does this even mean? And all of the stuff. But once we really dove into it, it makes complete sense, and it helps so much. But so the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, verbal or written, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So those are the 5. And so my first question for Josh is, do you know what mine are in order?
Well, you actually prompted me before this, so I did write them down so I don't forget.
That's not fair. I didn't write yours down.
Well, all right. So I wrote what I thought mine were and what I thought yours were. Yours, number 1, and I'm ranking these from highest of what I think your love language is to receive, not reciprocate.
Okay.
To lowest of what I think. Okay. I think the first one that you have is words of affirmation.
Okay.
I think you really like that. I know in the morning you ask me, does this look good? Do I look good? Does my makeup look good? So I'm going with number 1.
Makes sense.
Number 2, quality time.
Okay.
Quality time. I think you like to spend time with your family. I like you spend time with me.
Yeah.
I think you just like quality time.
Yeah, I do.
Number 3, I think it's touch.
Yeah.
Just to know I'm there.
Yeah.
Know I'm caring about you.
Yeah.
Giving you a hug, giving you a kiss.
And other things.
Sure, and other things. Yeah. Number 4, acts of service. We start getting to these last 2, I think, are kind of in between, but acts of service, I think, give or take, I don't think it matters to you that much, but I think the thought behind acts of service, I think, is more important to you than the 5th one, which would be gifts. Yeah. I don't think you like gifts that much. I think you'd rather give gifts than receive gifts.
Wow, you really know me.
Did I nail those?
Yeah, and I think I've told you this before. These are hard for me because I feel like there's so many different circumstances, so many different situations that when I look at these, and we've gone through different marriage groups and books and things where you do have to list all of these in order. For me, I almost feel like I would group all 4 the first ones you said on the same level. To me, those are all the same. And I know it's important, and that maybe is my problem, that I should, kind of make a distinction between those 4. But to me, all of those first 4 are number 1. And then gifts would be just off the list for me. Because that's not, I'm just bad at receiving gifts. But anyways, that's just a weird thing for me. I don't know.
If I never gave you words of affirmation again, never said you're pretty or look good or your makeup's good or anything like that, and all I gave you was quality time,
then I would still love it. Because like I said, those are all on the same level to me.
You think so?
I feel like I can't rank those 4. I don't think that words of affirmation is so much higher to me than acts of service. You know what I mean?
So me not saying I love you.
He's getting deep now.
Me not saying I love you. But seriously, girls love.
No, I'm just saying.
Girls want to be heard. Girls want to know they're loved.
Yeah.
Girls want to be cared. But if I don't ever tell you I love you, ever, but we spent quality time together, would that bug you?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying is like that's what I'm saying. They're all in there together.
Sure.
So when I feel like you rank them.
So what I'm trying to get at is I thought I might have had it easy by just having to hit one of them, but I have to hit all four of them.
Yes. But listen.
And if I don't do it right, I can't buy you flowers. I can't buy you a gift. I'm
coming at it from a different perspective. So you're saying if you take one out, but what I'm saying is they're all together. So if you take one out, there's still the other three. When you rank them from 1 to 5, if you take one out, like you're just screwed. I feel like. So I was just trying to give you a little bit of grace there. But no, you hit it on the head. Okay. Sorry. I got on a tangent.
No, it's okay. Well, to switch over, let me cover these up really quick. What do you think?
Yeah, that's not fair. I didn't.
Here, they're written down.
I didn't even know you were writing those down.
Yeah, you prepped me for it.
Okay, so I'm doing yours.
Yep, these are mine.
What are like to receive?
Highest to lowest. What I receive. What I feel loved. What do you think?
It is 100% number 1, touch.
Yes, and not sexually. That's
physical touch.
That's there as a male.
Yeah, you like the little tickle.
But I like to be
rub.
touched and rubbed and just to know, like, hey, that's just.
Yeah,
I'm a mama's boy.
But not PDA.
My mom would always rub my back when I was younger, and I think that's just carried over.
Mm-hmm. But not not PDA.
Not PDA
at all.
I don't like PDA.
Like we don't touch. We'll kiss and hug in public, but it's just when we're together.
Yep.
Like just not sexual, just touching, being sweet with each other.
I won't go there. Okay, number 2.
Definitely words of affirmation.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're right. I wrote.
You made me nervous for a second. Oh my God.
I actually wrote these down. She can't see them, but I actually wrote them down on mine.
When you said you think so, I'm like, crap. I had to make sure.
I didn't know. 2 and 3 they've always kind of been there for me.
Saying. It's hard to like.
Okay.
Really,
so boom, you nailed that one.
Okay.
What's number 3?
Quality time.
Yes. Well, we've had a conversation about this when we were first dating, where I'm playing video games. I'm like, what are you doing in your room? Like, come hang out with me. You're like, well, you're playing video games. You don't even talk. I'm like, I don't care. I just want you in the room.
I'm pretty sure I saw a reel on that the other day.
Yeah, we did. We did. We started laughing really hard.
Yeah. But it's true. It is just being in each other's presence. And I think we've talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call that quality time.
No, but it's in each other's presence. It's like we're there. We're just, I know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. It's just not necessarily quality time. Not at all by any means, but. No,
but just time together.
It's just funny thinking about it back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4.
Okay. Number 4. See, I go back and forth with these with you because from my perspective, number 4 would be acts of service. And let me explain. And I think this is also another thing where it's like, okay, I need to cater to you, not think about why you like this or that or that. And I would say that because you like your laundry done, right? You like this stuff. So number 5, we'll just get number 5 would be gifts. So that's how I would rank them. Number 4 would be acts of service. Number 5 would be gifts.
Okay. See, and I have that different. I have those two switched.
I figured.
Because I could care less. I mean, it's nice. It's nice. It's very nice of you.
But when it doesn't,
it's nice of you to do. And we're going to talk about this in the next episode is roles in our marriage and parenting. So, but if you don't do the laundry, it doesn't make me love you more or less.
Yeah, but it causes contention.
I don't mow the lawn.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you love me more or less. It's just something that we have to collectively, and you ended up doing this, have to get done for us to dress ourselves. Like
because you don't have underwear to wear. And that causes an issue.
Well, I don't need to wear underwear. You just want me to.
I mean, on a real note, I mean, you make comments about it like,
yeah, I don't have this shirt. I'm going to work and yeah, and we can get into that.
But you never, ever, 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 ever talk about gifts. So that's why I would put it last. I understand where you're coming from, but I feel like acts of service is more important to you than gifts.
No, I don't believe so. I don't think so. Because if you intentionally went out and thought of something for me, I 100% appreciate that more than you doing laundry.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that.
Like
I don't need gifts every single day.
I feel like we could go so in depth, and it's so circumstantial and so.
But that's what this is. That's what the love languages are, is finding it. And I think they're ever evolving too.
Yeah. I mean, that's good for me to know. Like I said, that's one of those things where a spouse can think one way and be like, oh, these are my husband's love languages. And then they're wrong. That causes an issue.
Yes. You let me buy a motorcycle. Freaking
okay.
I've been ecstatic about that.
Okay, I should have known. Well, but that to me, I didn't give that to you.
You gave me the gift of a yes.
So that is like a stretch. So, but I mean, I get it. But so like along those lines.
Sorry, there's a fly.
Along those lines, obviously we did a pretty good job with that. But when you really think about us actually focusing on those, do you think we do a good job?
Yes and no. I think it's hard because I think you naturally revert back to what your love language is.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I feel like I receive love this way. So I intentionally reciprocate it that way rather than consciously thinking, what does she, and with you, it's all, it's revolving. So those, like you said, those top four kind of maybe switch 1 or 2 days. And it's making sure that like, I don't know which one it is today. And just trying to figure out like, oh, she's asking for this. Like she needs that. And I'm not good with words. So the words of affirmation are very hard for me.
Yeah.
I grew up in a family that doesn't hug each other. Really.
Yeah.
We don't tell you I love you that much. Like that's just something that I struggle with. I mean, I tell my son that I love him every single day. I kiss him, hug him.
Yeah.
But to show an affection towards another human being that's an adult is difficult.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that. And I know that's something that you need. So it's something that I have to consciously
it's putting your guard down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know necessarily seeing a guard. It's just like, it's not
natural to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain isn't wired to do it. And I need to get in the habit of it. But
I get that too. And I think we're lucky that, well, 2 of them are switched, but our top 3 are the same.
Yeah.
And that's helpful because I think a lot of times, most times probably, all of them are completely different. Like I know a lot of women love gifts. That might be one of the top ones, or acts of service is usually a really top one for women too. And I think that we're lucky in that way. But I think because I really struggle with receiving anything, attention, anything like that. I'm really bad at that just in general. So whether it's from, acts of service or words of affirmation, I get kind of like, oh, it's okay. I don't want people to like feel like they need to give me those things.
Right. Cater to you.
Yeah. And so I feel like I struggle with receiving it. And I've realized that that's something that I need to be better at. When you do give me compliments, I need to be better at receiving it and be thankful and things like that. Now that I'm thinking about it. Crazy how that works.
We should write these down.
I know.
So come back to them tomorrow.
But I think you do a really good job, especially with the words of affirmation.
After I just said I don't, you think I do?
Yeah. I mean, in a different way. I think about it from a different way. Like when I look good or I dress up, you are good at telling me I look pretty. Either you come at it from a way like you feel like you need to put these like strong verbal sentences together and give me like a poem or something. You know what I mean? Like that's not what I care about. Like you do tell me I'm pretty, or you do tell me this or that looks good. You're also good at telling me what doesn't look good.
Do you like that?
You're just honest. I mean, I do. You have to take it with a grain of salt. It's hard to hear sometimes, but from my perspective, you're not bad at that. And you think you are.
It's good to know.
But yeah, I mean, what else do you think we do a good job with?
I don't know. I think it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard
I
to
feel
think.
like I do. I'm really good at pointing out the bad stuff. I'm never good at pointing out the good stuff. So when you say I do good things, I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm like, that doesn't look good, babe. Maybe go change.
So Josh is a pessimist. I'm an optimist.
Very
you
much
haven't
so.
found that out yet.
We work very well together in business and in life and in marriage because we are so similar yet so different, which is really weird. But I do think some of these do intertwine, and it is really nice. Well, it's not really nice, actually. I was going to make a sexual joke, but I'm not going to do that. When you want to be touched and I want to be touched, yeah, fireworks, cool.
Yeah.
But I've told you this a couple times. I would rather have, not true all the time, I'd rather have a back rub than have to have sex every single night. Like,
yeah.
That's why it's number one for me. Like, I just feel loved that way.
Yeah, 100%. You've always been that way.
When it hasn't happened, and when I haven't have a backup, it's like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like the world's ending.
Yeah, it is for you. I will say, along those lines about, do we implement them on a day-to-day basis? Absolutely not.
Consciously think about them.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
do we consciously implement?
Yeah, like
do I think about what Josh or do I think about what Lauren wants today?
Yeah.
No, we don't do that very well.
Yeah.
But we've known these for so long, and the curriculum of the book and how this affects us, that I think we have implemented that in a way that we know what each other wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we don't want to give in to it because we're tired or, whatever. We, are frustrated with one another and we don't want to cater to the other person.
Right.
But when we're not being, annoyed with each other or not being frustrated or all of those different things. Back when I was, younger, when I thought, oh, this is so stupid. What are these 5 love languages? Learning how important it is to truly implement these. And it's not just the title of them. It's what comes along with it. What really learning what each one is and what it means to our spouse.
Right. Well, along those lines, when you say words of affirmation, to me, I think you sometimes think it's silly, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a guy thing. I honestly don't know if it's a guy thing. If I do anything, I mean, I could pick up a piece of toilet paper in the bathroom that you didn't even know was there. I just want the acknowledgement that you knew I did something.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I do. I'm not good at that. I
don't know if it's, but again, I don't necessarily why do I need that?
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm doing things and I do things around the house to help our family out. But at the same time, I think maybe it's because I don't like being told to do something. I'm just like, hey, look, I did something without you telling me to do something.
Well, and that's where words of affirmation are different between a wife and a husband. Words of affirmation to me and a wife are telling me you look good, you look pretty,
right.
All of this stuff. But to you, words of affirmation,
respect.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. No acknowledgement.
Right.
Yeah. And to me, I'm I just do these things on a day-to-day basis and I don't need to be, thanked for them kind of thing where, because we'll talk about this next episode. It's funny how this is all, we could talk about this. Yeah. We can talk about that, but for you, and I think that's where it's hard sometimes, where the meaning of the love language is different between a husband and a wife.
For sure.
And I feel like that can be a struggle.
Yeah. No, definitely. Because I don't mean to say I'm doing good. I do good at saying, thanks for doing that, babe. Because that's what I want.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for doing laundry. Yeah. Hey, thanks for doing you made dinner tonight before we had the podcast. I said, thank you for doing that. I do that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I don't do a very good job of saying, I love you. You're amazing. Keep doing this.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this.
Yeah. So like I said, it's not just the surface level title of the 5 love languages. It's an in-depth meaning of what they are and what they mean to your spouse separately, right. Not just what they mean to the husband. That's what they mean. It's what they mean to the wife and what they mean to the husband. And then implementing those, strategically implementing those and being honest about it, because you're going to fail. I mean, we fail all the time.
All the time.
But
if we can hit those love languages, it helps just the relationship flow better.
Yeah.
Because you're feeling loved, you're feeling cared for, and you're feeling respected, and you're feeling like all your needs are being met.
Mm-hmm.
and arguments don't come out of it.
Yeah. And it's something to focus on.
Or an argument does happen.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what makes you feel better. Like, you're really good. If we ever got in an argument, you're a people pleaser. You want people to not. So you know that my love language is touch. So you'll like after an argument, you give me a back massage. I don't know. Maybe we should get in arguments more.
I mean, no, that sounds terrible.
But you,
no, I know what you mean.
On the opposite side, you want to have a conversation and have affirmation that this relationship is perfect and we're good and we love each other.
I want acknowledgement that you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Affirmation.
Yeah.
Confirmation. Speculation.
Keep going. Yeah, but I can't, I just, again, going back to it, as silly as I thought these were in the beginning and as silly as they can seem when times are tough, man, they're there for a reason. They're talked about for a reason. Yeah. They work for a reason. And it's when you are in that state where, man, something needs to be fixed or we just want to make it better.
Right.
It's an incredible tool, I think.
I think so too. Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to go read the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, I had to look that up here. Just to make sure I got Gary's name right. Yep. Highly recommend to go read that and kind of do a self-evaluation of, maybe it's a marriage that's struggling, maybe it's a relationship that's struggling, to really just do an internal, kind of self-check and understanding of maybe what is it that hits your heart and or your spouse's.
Or maybe you're not struggling and you just, you're interested.
Yeah.
It's fun too.
It's just
to do a fun game like, hey babe, what do you think mine are? If you've actually never done it, you'd probably be surprised that you might actually know.
Right.
Or you don't. And then, that's a great conversation to have and a great mindset to have where you can really dive into those.
Right. Yeah. And I was getting along the lines of that too. But we always look for tools to help our marriage.
Yeah.
Because it's never going to be perfect. And this has definitely been one of those ones that has been, really, really good for us.
Yeah. Well, and we honestly haven't thought or talked about this. Obviously, because we have really dove into it, we do our best to do that for each other, but we haven't specifically talked about it with each other for a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've had multiple groups and multiple conversations, multiple small groups with this as a underlying theme. But I highly recommend it. Go take a look at that book. And if you haven't, go order it on Amazon. It'll be there in a couple of days, maybe one day. Next episode, we've kind of hinted at it. You want to kind of break that one down?
A few times. Yeah. So we are going to go through parenting roles, as we kind of talked about,
can be very controversial.
Roles, jobs, kids, chores, and that does obviously kind of play into the love languages too. So we're really going to dive into that, kind of what we've experienced, obviously, in our marriage, with people around us, different scenarios and the struggles and the triumphs that we've had as well.
For sure.
So
I'm excited to talk through that and kind of tell you how we parent.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Have roles. So catch us next week. See you guys.
See ya.